you've got to show up and make it work no matter what. So much in society I hear, do what you love, follow your dreams, follow your passions, and certainly I'm not against any of that. However, without disregarding feelings, because those are important too, it is important that you do and show up no matter what. And sometimes that means putting on a little facade or a happy face and charging through it. And you might feel like that's fake or whatever opposition you might have to that. I call it getting the job done. Like no case on post, like no BS on post. Like when you come to show up at a job, you can't show up at a job with all your drama and what fight you've gotten into with your husband, your wife, your roommate, the person that fender bended hit you. Like you've got to show up and make it work no matter what. So on that side of things, I've really developed and worked on a muscle of showing up with a happy face, with a positive attitude, make things go right, even when you don't want to or you don't feel like it. And that's okay. That builds a muscle of accomplishing your goals and your dreams, because it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be a bed of roses in anything that you do in life.
You know, the two things that we're most afraid of is public speaking and the fear of being embarrassed. So once I identified that those are the two biggest fears and most likely going to be my two biggest obstacles, I set out to try to beat them and to face them. And the only way to really conquer a fear is to just do it. Just keep doing it. And so the public speaking I started doing when I was little, and every time I'm nervous, you know, I'm still nervous now.
Me too.
But the embarrassing, I will intentionally embarrass myself because I feel like when I do that, it loses its power over me. So I'll go through life and say, I gotta do something silly or, try something that I know I'm not good at and embarrass myself.
Does when you embarrass yourself intentionally and put yourself in those situations make you stronger in business to be able to confront the real difficult things?
They completely do, because you realize you move on. They don't really remember it the next day. It's not a big deal. I like to say, don't be afraid to make mistakes or to embarrass yourself, because the worst thing that can happen is you become memorable.
But whenever something happened that went wrong, I know that I've always had that place of yes attitude. It doesn't mean I'm always in a good mood. It doesn't mean I'm not bitchy sometimes. It doesn't mean I don't get overwhelmed. It means that I take a minute, I get upset, I sit in bed, I process, maybe I cry, maybe I get depressed, I think the world's coming to an end. I wake up, I brush myself off, I make it a place of yes, and I come through the window because I couldn't get through the door. It's all back to the original fundamentals. The people that work hard and don't complain about overtime and aren't asking what they're not, complaining about what they're not getting, and aren't complaining about what the men are getting that the women aren't getting, and are not complaining or just being better than the men or being better than the women or just being the best, those are the ones that are succeeding. I'm serious.
Strong.
I don't look at resumes. I look at someone who's like, I'm on it, I've got it, I got you. I don't care. Work hard, be better than the person next to you. Most people don't work hard. Most people are entitled, they expect, they're more worried about what everybody else is doing. It's be the best, that's it. Just do it, like Nike says.
You must show up for yourself, try to make a difference for the better, impact lives, and reach your goals no matter what.